Intimacy is like putting your wiener on the table and having someone say, "That looks like a penis, only smaller." Only smaller. Oh.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Hello, everyone!
Welcome back to Remembering the Razzies.
This week we watched The Love Guru. It's pretty bad. I spit so much. I'm just salivating at the thought of The Love Guru. Or that's vomit. One of the two.
Wee. This movie is about a white guru, played by Mike Myers, who is famous for... Honestly, I think I kind of blacked out the beginning of the movie. Is he famous for being
I think
love guru?
Yeah, he's good at helping people be better in the relationship.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
There's a hockey player whose wife leaves him for Justin Timberlake, and I guess in this movie Justin Timberlake has a big dick.
That's unrealistic.
Mike Myers' guru helps the hockey player gain his confidence back.
There's other things that happen, but that's the gist. Let's talk about comedy. One of the things that I hate in comedy is when a movie makes a joke and then the character explains the joke and then tells you that it's funny, but this movie takes it one step further.
Mm-hmm.
After all those things happen, another character will be like, "Oh yeah, that is funny."
This movie does a lot of recurring gags. It doesn't even start funny.
Yeah, no, the jokes aren't funny, but then they keep repeating the same type of joke.
Yeah.
And it becomes less funny because you can see that they're starting to set up the joke again, and then, mentally you're like, "Oh no, it's the joke again." They do that with acronyms. They do that with books. They do that with his wiener. Anytime you see Vern Troyer on screen, it's like, what is little man going to do? There's one good joke with Vern Troyer, and it's just that Vern Troyer has a smaller office than other people's. And it's just so ridiculous. That's the only reason it's funny, and then they make it not funny by saying, like, "Oh, this office is small." Like, you explained the joke! Oh, man. I'm getting more angry now than I was, actually watching the movie. Watching the movie, I was just, dead. I was like, this is comedy. This is what they're doing. And now that I'm, thinking about it and analyzing it, I'm just mad. There's a bit that might be funny, where Mike Myers and Kanye West are at a hockey game together.
Yeah.
And they're cheering. But I think the only joke is that,
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
And, that only resurfaced, within the past few years.
Yeah, currently. This was in 2009. People probably weren't, sharing that clip around because it probably didn't exist on YouTube at that point. So who's that joke for? Are they friends? If you see Mike Myers' face in that clip, he's like, "Dude, what the fuck?" Did he think it was funny at the time and he just had to pretend? I bet he probably thought it was funny.
Well, yeah, who wouldn't think it was funny?
Yeah, that actually is kind of funny. Never mind. One joke.
I don't know.
And it's not even a joke. It's literally just... Remember these two standing next to each other? What else? The movie's super racist.
Yeah, I told Jacob how people complain about movies today having, a diversity checklist. And this has the opposite, where they're like, how can we piss off every demographic?
It's wild. You could probably, just click a random point in the movie, give it 30 seconds, and something terrible will happen. In terms of, offensiveness, attempts at comedy where they will leave room for laughing, but no one's laughing.
The editing does that. There's, beats where there's just silence. Yeah. Where they're laugh at the joke now, please. I will see comedy movies that leave you moments for laughter, but this is, ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's noticeable.
Yeah, it's super noticeable because you're not laughing. Mike Myers laughs at his own jokes more than anyone else, who has ever seen this movie.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, because he wrote this.
He did. He was one of two writers.
Two people decided to do this? It's not as bad as Leonard Part 6.
And it's not as bad as if we would have watched all of Dirty Love.
No, I think Dirty Love would have been worse. I think the reason that this hurt me so much is, for one, these are funny people in this. Like, almost every actor and actress in here has made something that I think is really good. The fact that, like, this movie thinks that it's super funny the whole time. Like, Mike Myers is laughing at his own stuff. Jessica Alba's like, I haven't laughed this much in blah, blah, blah. And, like, everyone is, like, super confident that what they are making is so funny. It's just really upsetting. Alright, what did it win?
Okay. This was nominated for 7 awards, and it won 3. This won Worst Screenplay, Worst Actor, and Worst Picture. Worst Screenplay.
Yeah, if for nothing else, the jokes alone, I would say.
Because that's all this is just really bad jokes stitched together.
It does have, like, an end goal, and a character trying to get to that end goal. He discovers that, oh, he doesn't want that goal, he wants something else.
But yeah, so was every comedy from
that's
the
true.
2000s. It's like, oh, applause for you. You have a coherent story.
Yeah. You did the one thing. You did the one thing that you need.
You're a comedy. The one thing you need is your jokes to work. If this story didn't make any sense with the... Like, Freddy Got Fingered, for example.
That's true. If it was really abstract,
the story
it might
doesn't
work.
make sense, but the jokes, at least for people like us, worked.
Ding dong! Ding dong!
Worst actor for Mike Myers.
What else was nominated? He played the character pretty faithfully.
Mark Wahlberg in The Happening, Al Pacino in 88 Minutes and Righteous Kill, Eddie Murphy in Meet Dave, Larry the Cable Guy in Witness Protection. I'm gonna go for Mike Myers.
I will also go for Mike Myers. I also can't see, like, any actor making this better.
Yeah.
I think it's just a bad role. To be fair, though, Mike Myers did write it. He created the character. This is exactly what he wanted the character to be. It is a bad character.
And then, Worst Picture. This was nominated against In the Name of the King, The Hottie and the Naughty, The Happening, Disaster Movie, and Meet the Spartans.
I mean, this wins.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
for
we can
sure.
say that this wins.
Yeah.
We might revisit some of these in revisiting the Razzies, but, like, by far, The Love Guru was awful.
It's just so not funny.
No.
So, I'll say it's pretty forgettable.
Not even in terms of, like, bad bits. I don't think there's any particular bad bits that I will remember.
Do you want to rank this?
Yeah. I would love to rank this.
Let's kick it off with Best Made.
Okay. So, production design, not the worst.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that, in terms of Best Made, is saving it for me.
I think the actors at least were having fun. Even though they did bad, everybody was hamming it up.
Yeah.
And I can respect that to a point, I guess. I'm gonna put this between Swept Away and Geely.
I'm okay with that, yeah.
At least Guy Ritchie's a competent filmmaker. And Geely and Basic Instinct 2 are boring as hell. And there's no style to it. This one, I'm not going to say that there's like a style to it, but at least visually, I was more...
Engaged.
I didn't want to fall asleep
Yeah,
during this
yeah.
movie. Alright, and most entertaining... I think I was more entertained watching you watch this.
Yeah, I don't know. This one's tricky.
I don't think this movie was boring. Because like we just said, I did feel engaged. I felt like I was dying, but I felt engaged.
I guess I would again put it above Geely.
I would probably knock it a few more up.
Okay.
I'm thinking I'd rather watch this than Battlefield Earth.
I'm okay with that. I think one good thing about this movie that's saving it is the runtime.
That's true. If this was any longer.
Yeah, if this was like... If this went anything over an hour and a half, it would be unbearable.
Battlefield Earth is just super long and it drags. And I have like heartburn because of this movie right now. So let's...
Yeah, it's at least it's not a time commitment.
Wow.
Wow.
We're almost through the 2000s.
We are, just one movie left.
I know. What is the next movie?
It's Transformers 2.
Join us next week.
For Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. And our roundup of all the Razzies of this decade.
Oh yeah, it's the season finale next week. Love Gurus roll out.
No, we can't do that bit yet.